guys, happy Saturday. So my husband and I were talking today about how many eyeshadow palettes I probably have, and he was thinking they're close to 100. So I'm going to do a quick video kind of sharing all my palettes, and we'll see if he was right, but let me show you a quick glimpse. So I'll flip the view. So I lined them all up on our bed because I'm going to clean out my Alex Giant 9-drawer unit. But this is my stack of palettes. And then I have things over here that he thinks count as being a palette that I don't agree with because there's pressed glitters and single shadows that I've ordered. But he said because they're in a palette, my Z palette, that they count as a palette. So let's go ahead and get into it. I might pause a couple times in the video just to grab things so it's less awkward because I am definitely not a professional, but let's just get going. So since it's right here, we'll start here. This year I was really fortunate to try Give Me Glow. This is the palette I ordered to put my single shadows in, and this is what they look like. Super cute. My husband says it counts. I don't think it should. Then I'll just move this over here. I also got this little 4-quad Pixie by Petra pressed glitters. I really love them. The only thing I would complain about is you can kind of see you hit pan pretty quickly. Then I got this out for these. So these are the ABH holiday glitters. I think not this year, but last year. I got these for Christmas from, I want to say, my in-laws. But yeah, so Justin says these count, but they all look white, but then when you print them on the lid, they have different colors like pinks and blues and gold. So it comes in a little pack of 5 glitters that you can do. And then he also counted these. So these are pressed pigments from Makeup Murder. They came as a set. So this is the neon set. And then this is the pastel set. So Justin says they count too. What do you think? I don't think it should count just because they came as a set. Then let's do some single shadows. So this is Lithium by Urban Decay. It's actually a really, I can't ever do anything one-handed, I swear. Let me pause. Hold on. I'm going to open up these other ones so you can see them. So hold on. Okay, so I've just really only opened up Lithium. So this is Lithium. I think Kathleen Lights really liked this one, so I had to get it when I finally restocked, and I really do love this for an everyday shadow. I have 2 of the paint pots from Tarte. The first one is Park Avenue Princess, which is this really pretty bronzy color. And then this is Top Yacht, which is this gorgeous gold. So I have those. Then I have my little color pops here. We didn't count these, thank God. But there's this one. It's like this pinky peach, which is from their Super Shocks in the color Tea Party. There is this one right here, which is really pretty. It is Ladybird. This one right here, again, kind of a rosy. It's just, these are all Super Shocks. And Set to Stun. And then this bronzy one is one of my favorites. You can kind of see I'm close to pan. This is in Lightning Bug. And then the last one, this is Ripple. I don't even need to look. I've hit pan on it. It's this gorgeous purpley pink with this really pretty iridescent shimmer. So that's that one. So those are all of, oh, I lied. Then I have these, we didn't count either, but these are my liquid shadows that I use from Stila. So there is this one, which I'm almost out of. I think this is Wonderlust. Yep. And then I have this one in Perlina, which is a really pretty topper. There is this one, which is a pretty blue, Into the Blue. It's almost gone too, actually. And this little peachy one that I love a lot, which is Doll Face or Doll-ish. This one that's really pretty. It's like this light pink. You can kind of see. I use these a lot for work when I'm on the go. So this one was Sunset Cove. This is one of the first ones I got. And then this one, I think this is Kitten Karma. Again, one I use a lot. So, and then this I got in a BoxyCharm from Studio One Makeup, and it's just one of their Endurance Cream eyeshadows. So there's no color to it or anything, or shade name, but I like it. So I'm going to pause and I'll go get my palettes and we will go from there. Hold on. Okay, so we're back. Sorry if people get annoyed with all the pauses, but I'm not a professional. So I'm going to start with like the brands that I just have a few of each, or just like one of each for starters. So this one is from Disney. It's the Lilo and Stitch eyeshadow palette. I think I got this at like Box Lunch, but it's really cute. Blues and greens. I'm a big Stitch fan, so that worked out for me. We have this one right here from MAC Cosmetics. It's the Selena from this year, the collab with them. It has her bustier on the front. This is definitely, it has, I don't always keep these, but this one has Selena on it, so I'll keep that one. But the palette itself is like very neutral, but good quality, something that I would expect for MAC, but like it's not the most poppy palette in the world, so I definitely am mainly keeping it for nostalgia. I got this for Christmas. I've been wanting this palette forever, and I finally got it. This is the Sweet Peach from Too Faced. I'm sure lots of you have seen this. It's a gorgeous palette. I got this year for anniversary or birthday from Urban Myth palette from Black Moon Cosmetics. Such a pretty palette. I'm so excited to play with that. Haven't touched it. This is one of my favorite palettes from this year, the Corda Rosa palette by Sigma Beauty. This is my only Sigma palette, and there's that brush right there, but very beautiful palette. I am obsessed with it and definitely drawn to picking that up. This one I just got today from my Boxy Luxe box. It came in today of all days when I'm counting my palettes. And that's what it looks like. This is from Hip Dop. Very beautiful. This is also from a Boxy Charm. It was one that it's called The Queen from Eloise. It's a palette I was debating on giving away as a gift, but I've already kind of done my Christmas gifts this year, and I ended up not giving this to anyone, so I'm going to keep it. Gorgeous, gorgeous palette. Those pinks and purples are definitely calling my name. I have this palette, which is the one I'm playing with this week because I'm actually doing my makeup because I have a few days off in a row. This is the Venice Fling by Bailey Sarian and Estate Cosmetics. I actually am enjoying using this palette quite a bit. That's what it looks like. Sorry if the palettes are messy. I just haven't cleaned any of them. This one is one I got for my anniversary this year for my husband. It's the Greek Goddess palette from Lunar Beauty. This palette is going to probably be one of my everyday work palettes for sure. And then this was a gift a few years ago from my husband. I don't really use this very often. It's the Hyperspace palette from Her Universe. My husband's a big Star Wars fan, so I definitely won't ever get rid of it just because it was a gift from him. That's what that one looks like. Then we have this palette, which I think I got at Hot Topic just for nostalgia because I used to love to play with Polly Pockets. I've used a couple colors in here just to test them out, but it's not the best quality, but look how cute the packaging is. I'll just probably keep this for decor. This is one of my favorite palettes for packaging as well. It's for the Pure X Barbie collab. This is, ooh, I'm going to break some palettes. Ooh. Can I open it? Yes. This was the original one. They've done a second one since then, but definitely love playing with this palette. And then this also came in my very first Boxy Charm. It's from Pretty Vulgar. It's the Nightingale palette. I have not used this one either, but I think it will be a good one for work. So that's what that looks like. So those are the ones that I have like one from each brand. Let me pause it. I'll move these and grab another stack. Okay, so now I have some palettes that I have at least two from each brand. So I'll just start right here. These are the last year's holiday from Melt Cosmetics. Some of my favorite palettes. This is the Vita palette. Ugh, open. It looks like this. Very messy. You can see I dip into that a lot. Then this is probably my favorite of the two though, the Morte palette. The packaging on these are so freaking on point. It's not even funny. But let me open it. Love this palette. Then I have, since it's right here in front of me, Violet Voss. I got this one in a Boxy Charm. I haven't used it yet. It is the Essentials palette, but I do love the colors. And then I also bought this one, I want to say, not this summer, but maybe the summer before. This is the Coral Crush palette. And this is a very me palette. I mean, it's so pretty. I could seriously wear this every day. Then we have Menagerie Cosmetics, which is right here. This is the Pastel Pup palette. I love the packaging. They're very Lisa Frank. So this is a really pretty one. I haven't actually used it yet. The only shimmer in here is the Snowball. And then this is one of my favorite palettes for all time from Menagerie Cosmetics. It's the Feral palette, and it looks such a pretty palette. I am obsessed with it. That color Wolfling, I could wear it every single day and be happy. Then I have this palette right here from Glamlight. I have two. I have the Street Taco palette, which looks like this. Oh, I still have the plastic in that one. Very pretty palette. Obviously, I've never used it. This is probably my favorite rainbow palette of all time. The Cake palette from Glamlight. So let me try to open it for you. Sorry. That's what that one looks like. Such a beautiful palette. Like, hands down, if you want a rainbow palette and you have my skin tone, just buy this and that's all you need. This one right here, I don't know if I'm going to be able to open this one-handed. I did it. Okay, so this was my very first high-end palette I ever bought. This is the Be a Mermaid Make Waves palette from Tarte Cosmetics. I still really love this palette. I need to really use it more. And then this one I got in a BoxyCharm, and I was so excited to get this in my BoxyCharm because I really thought it would be a pretty palette. This is the Tarte Pro palette. It has some really, obviously, a good section of mattes, and those shimmers are to die for. So that is that. Let me pause it again, and I'll grab another stack. And we're back. Sorry if these pauses are bugging you. I'm not a professional, so let's go through these. Anyways, I'm going to start with BH Cosmetics. I really love their formula. This is the Smitten in Switzerland palette, which I think is the perfect palette if you're balling on a budget and want something pretty for fall. I have a lot of their baked eyeshadow palettes. This is the Stellar Collision. This is probably my least favorites of the one I own, but it's still a pretty palette. And then I have the Aurora Lights palette. This one I think is probably my second favorite. Look how pretty that is. The colors in this, oh, they work so well. And if you want them to really pop, I would just use a glitter glue and they'll just stick to your lids perfectly. This is my first BH I ever got, Supernova. Obviously, it's been loved. Then I have, whoop, I just threw that on the ground. I also have this one right here. This is probably my favorite BH Cosmetics palette, the Zodiac Love Signs palette. I love it because it has mattes and shimmers, so it's like this all-in-one dream. Yes, love this palette. That is all BH. Then I have my Morphes. This one right here, can I open it one-handed is always the question. Hold on. So you're going to get an awkward picture. This is the Fall into Frost palette. I really do enjoy this for work. This one right here is the original Jaclyn Hill palette. Still love this palette. This was my very first Morphe palette, and this is such an amazing palette. This is like, if you really only needed one, I would say get that. This is my favorite of the two Jaclyn Hills from Morphe's. This is the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2, but that's just because it has the brighter colors, which is definitely more my vibe. Then I also have this one from Morphe. I don't know which one it is. Oh my gosh. You would think that I could open, this is the 39S. Definitely a beautiful palette. Those jellies in the center I use all the time. Then I have the James Charles palette. I know so many people are lovers of this palette. Do not come for me, but open. I just don't use this one very often. I bought it for my sister for her birthday, but it's, obviously this little quad or 6 right here I use a lot, but other than that, not really. So let's close that. Then bring these little bad boys over. These are the e.l.f. Bite Size. These are what caught me off guard this year. If you are balling on a budget, buy these palettes. They are $3 freaking and they are amazing. I can't even. So this is what made me want to try e.l.f. So this one is Truffles. I also have this one right here, which is Very Bad. This is my favorite, I'm pretty sure, because this is, because I've repressed this like 4 times. I dropped this sucker This is the cream and sugar, but I love it so much. This is my favorite one to wear just for every day that I keep repressing that shadow. There's this one right here as well. This is the rose water. I have this one. I think it's the carnival one. Yes, carnival candy. And then this one I think is the pumpkin one. Yes, pumpkin pie. So seriously, if you are balling on a budget, get these shadows. I don't have all of them, but the ones I do have, I love. But because I tried those, I wanted to try out another larger palette from e.l.f. So let's see if I can open it. Oh, I can. This one is the Paradise. Let me read it. Retro Paradise. So I haven't really gotten to play with this much except for swatching it, but it looks beautiful, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing with it. Yes, hopefully it is brown girl friendly. And then moving past the elves, now I have my little ColourPop stack. So we'll start with this one, which I just haven't been able to get rid of because it's Frozen and I love Frozen. So that's what that one looks like. You can tell I dig into that a lot. It's been loved. This is the new Baby Yoda palette, or the Mandalorian palette. Have not used it yet, but I will never get rid of this because it is Baby Yoda. I have the X's and O's, which I think was an Ulta exclusive. This is really beautiful on my skin tone, and you can see I have gotten into that palette. This is one of my favorites from ColourPop. It's the Sweet Talk palette. That's what it looks like. Obviously, this has seen some love. Then I have this one I got this year for my birthday, the Hocus Pocus palette. I'm a huge Hocus Pocus fan, so of course I had to have this palette. Beautiful palette. Probably just keep it because it's Hocus Pocus. And then this is another really good one. One of my friends recommended for me, so of course I got it. It's Truly Madly Deeply from ColourPop. I got it last year. Such a good palette. So those are on my ColourPop. Sorry if I'm going fast. There's a lot of palettes. So let me pause this. I'll get another stack. All right, next group of stacks. So I'll start here. Juvia's Place, one of my favorites. I have gotten a lot of these this year. This is the Berries palette. This was actually, I have a stack here of the minis from my friend Marie. This is one of them. So beautiful. This is also a gift from my dear friend Marie. This is the Violets. Oh, I love this palette. I'm such a purple pink girl. She got me this one too, the Taupes. I was very spoiled this year by my friends for my birthday. I just got this yesterday for Christmas from my husband, and I'm, oh my god, I can't even. That pink shade right there, I need to play with that immediately. This was my first Juvia's Place palette, the Nubian, which is amazing for work. As you can see, it's been very loved. This I got from my friend Marie for my birthday. This is the Nomad palette. Holy bejesus. Very pretty. This is the Tribe palette. I bought this myself. And I love it because it's got a really pretty mix of greens. So definitely recommend that if you love green eyeshadow because it's gorgeous. Then we'll go over here because there's less. These are from Jeffree Star's. Don't come for me. I had bought Jeffree Star before all his controversies. So this is the Mini Orgy palette. I hate the name, but it's all shimmers. So this is a good companion. They're not the best shimmers I've actually had from Jeffree Star, but I make them work. So there's that. I have the Mini Controversy palette, so fitting being from Jeffree Star, but that green shade is why I bought it. And I also love this blue. This is actually a really fun palette to use. I'm really loving it. Then I have the Blue Blood palette, which I think was maybe my first Jeffree Star eyeshadow palette. Not my first Jeffree Star purchase, but palettes, because I love blue eyeshadow. I mean, look at this. It's so beautiful. And that one shade, Crystal Flesh, I love that. And Celebrity Skin, of course. Then I did buy this at launch. This is the Jawbreaker palette. I've even gifted this palette. I think it's a really beautiful rainbow palette. But this was pre-Glamlight Cake palette. Now that I have the cake palette, I would totally buy the cake palette over this. But that one shade right there, Snack, heaven. So, but don't just buy a palette for Snack. That being said, I'm going to move some of these palettes and let's get into one of my favorite brands in the world. I am a huge Anastasia Beverly Hills fan, obviously by the lovely stack. So let's just get into these quick. Soft Glam is one of my very first palettes I ever got from her. It has been well loved. It's a beautiful palette. Oops, I'm going to break some palettes. Carly Bible. I love Miss Carly. So I, of course, have to get her collab. Again, I really do enjoy that palette. The Riviera palette, I was pretty disappointed with. I mean, it's not awful, but it's not the best. That's what that one looks like. The Sultry palette is one of my favorites. It was it holiday last year? But obviously, well loved. Beautiful palette. Norvina is like another one of my favorites. I have a few in this collection. Gorgeous, gorgeous palette. I'm obsessed with that palette. This one I just got. Was it my birthday or anniversary? I got this year. Either way, this is the Amrezy palette. This palette speaks to my soul. I have not played with it yet. It's so beautiful, but I'm so excited. I mean, the shade Barb and Cupcake. I mean, come on. It's gorgeous. I love this palette. Definitely going to be using that soon. This is the Jackie Aina palette. I bought this after a while. It's not one of my favorites. There's a few shades in here I really like. I think I need to give it another chance, though, and play with it more. So that's it. That's that stack. We're going to pause and move to the next stack. Okay, next stack of palettes. So we'll just start here because it's right here. I just got this one for Christmas. This is Urban Decay, if you haven't guessed by the big letters. The Stone Vibes palette. This is what it looks like. It's so pretty. I haven't used it yet, but I'm super excited to play with that. It's from my husband, or my fur babies. They technically bought me my makeup. This is one of the palettes I've had for a while from Urban Decay. Ugh, I can't. Sorry about the actual weird views. This one is the Born to Run palette. This is actually a really good travel palette. I've traveled with this a couple times. This one right here, for all you Game of Thrones fans, yes, I have the palette. I didn't buy the whole collection. I bought this, and I think maybe a lippy, but this is the Game of Thrones collab. I really do love and enjoy this palette. I've gotten a lot of use out of it. Definitely probably never going to get rid of it just because it's a Game of Thrones palette. I definitely have never actually seen the show. I'm in the middle of reading the books as we speak, but yes, I do own that palette. Then I have a couple of Nakeds here. I have the Urban Decay Naked Heat, which was for a long time one of my favorite palettes. Used to wear this every day. It's a beautiful palette. Brown girl friendly. I can't talk. That shade Loom. Is it Lumbra? And Scorched. Those two were my OGs. Then I just got this from Christmas from my fur babies, aka my husband too. This is the, ooh, Lord. I need like a stand or something for videos, I swear. I can't open it. Well, I can, but then it flips shut. Okay, there we go. So this is the Ultraviolet. I've heard mixed reviews on this. I'm really curious to try it out for myself and see what I think. It is from my husband, so I'll never get rid of it, but I hope it's beautiful. So those are my Urban Decays. Then I have a lot of Natasha Denona's. This is the Mini Glam. I won't open it up because you can see it really well in here. One of my favorite everyday work palettes. I got this in a BoxyCharm. Which one is this? Peak. So this was the BoxyCharm one that came out in November. I've never used it. It only has one shimmer, but we'll check. This is one of my favorite ones that she's ever released, the Bronze palette, only because for my skin tone, this is like the perfect everyday palette. I mean, look how beautiful this is. So beautiful. Okay, then I have the Metropolis palette. I got this last year for Christmas. Man, I swear half the fun of these videos is just watching me struggle opening these palettes. This palette is so gorgeous. I will never get rid of this palette. My husband shocked me by buying this palette. It's the perfect color story. I don't care. You can wear that thing year round. And then I also have this one right here, which I got for Jesus. If I just broke a $130 eyeshadow palette, I'm gonna be so pissed at myself. Hold on. No. Oh, good. I didn't break anything. This is the Tropic palette. I got it for Mother's Day from my husband. I love this palette. It does work on my skin tone. I just have to use a little bit of glitter glue, a little white primer, and a couple of shades, but that shade Limoncello, it speaks to my soul. And Laguna, so beautiful. Okay, now the next two we will be extra gentle with because they are my two of my most prized eyeshadow palettes. They are from Mama Pat, Miss Pat McGrath herself. So let me, how do these open? We're going to be extra careful and extra. So this is the Divine Rose 2. When I got my hands on this in the pink packaging, I like had the biggest smile on my face. I got this at launch. I mean, I don't even need to say anything. This is Mama Pat. This is a whole nother level of gorgeous, and I love me my Mama Pat palettes. If there was a fire in my house, I would grab these palettes. I'm just saying. Just these. This is the Bronze Seduction, which is a beautiful everyday palette from Mama Pat that I love. Like, whenever I want to feel that little extra confidence, I reach for one of these two palettes. So that's that stack. I only have one more. I'm going to pause it and we'll go check it out. Okay, guys. This is the last stack of palettes. And by far, my most favorite stack of palettes. This is my favorite brand. I mean, there's Mama Pat. But Mama Pat is on her own level. Like, I don't even compare her to other brands. She's just that good. So there's Mama Pat. And then, after Mama Pat, my very favorite makeup brand is Huda Beauty. So let's show these. This is the Emerald Obsessions palette right here. Again, gorgeous palette. Ruby's Obsessions right here. Beautiful palette. This is my favorite of the Obsessions, the Amethyst Obsessions. Yes. Then I have the Khaki Purple Haze. Okay, let me see if I can open these. Oh, God. Can I open these? Okay, hold on. I'm going to set you down. Sorry. So, well, we'll go back to this one. Purple Haze. Very me. This one is the Nude Rich. Very me. Then I have all of her big palettes. So this is the Rose Gold Remastered. I took out the little sleeves in these. I keep them because they're so pretty. But this is a beautiful palette. And then I have the Desert Dusk, which this one and then her latest one are probably up for my #1 spot. Definitely love this palette. I have the Nude. Beautiful palettes. This is the Mercury Retrograde. Ooh. Okay, I'm not going to break one of these either. I'd be pissed. I love this palette. Funny story. My husband originally got this for me for Christmas, and then he was like trying to show me pictures, like, oh, what do you think of this? And I was like, I already own that. And he's like, really, it just came out? And I was like, no, that was last year's Christmas. So the lady at Sephora she kind of did him dirty. So he returned it and got me another palette. And this is her latest one, which is the Naughty Nude palette, which is between this and the Desert Dusk. Such a beautiful palette. Okay, and now we're going to flip the view. Okay, guys, so that is all of my eyeshadow palettes. I did it super fast because if I were to do it any slower, we would have been here for 2 hours. So no swatches. Sorry about that. I have a quick question for you. What do you think is too much? Like, according to my husband, if we count it the way he did, I have 91 eyeshadow palettes. If you count it the way I would count it, I have 86. So is 86 to 91 too many eyeshadows or just enough? I'm going to try really hard this year not to buy any more eyeshadow. I was supposed to be on a low buy this year. Kind of failed. I did do 2 decluters though this year, twice. And so technically I got rid of some. But I definitely still have, if you ask me, 86. If you ask him, 91. Like, let me know. Comment down below. Is that too much? What's your favorite brands? I hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. And that's all. Bye!